You've probably seen this photo of a guy dumping his chemical toilet straight into the sea on the Isle of Arran. It's disgusting, and it's things like this that give campervan and motorhome owners a bad name. After images like this started popping up and doing the round, petitions popped up calling for more facilities, mostly asking for service stations to install waste and water points. And honestly, I get it. The people signing these petitions mean well. They've seen a problem and they're trying to help.
And yes, we do need better facilities across the UK, no argument there. But this particular idea, the motorway services one, even if it was implemented, it just wouldn't work. And we need to be careful what we ask for, because sometimes the way we ask for change can actually make things worse for us overall. And before we move on to anything else, let's take a second and just quickly look over why this proposal just won't work.
This is the map of the UK, and then this map shows all of the most popular places that tourists usually travel to. Then this map shows our current motorway network, kinda, and then if you overlay both of these, you'll see that really they don't intersect. So even if every motorway service station built new disposal points tomorrow, they'd still be in the wrong place and barely used.
So let's go one step further and let's presume that the government did actually install some services, and not even in motorways, but in places where people actually travel to. This still wouldn't fix the problem. Take this line straight from the petition. Without proper disposal points, some travellers resort to dumping toilet or grey water waste in hedgerows, lay-bys or drains, harming the environment and public health.
You would think that installing more services would mean that people will stop dumping the toilet in places that they shouldn't. However, back in the real world, if we go over to the Isle of Arran and have a look at an island that makes it as easy as possible for people in campervans and motorhomes, still has to deal with people doing things that they shouldn't, because installing more services doesn't mean that people are going to stop doing things that they're going to do anyway. The problem runs much deeper than that.
Let's go back to the bloke on the Isle of Arran. This is where he was on the island. And then this is the closest toilet disposal from him, which was just 540 meters away. Did this make a difference to him? Nope, because this one isn't a facilities problem, it's a lack of respect problem. In fact, if we zoom out and look at the whole island, there's actually 3 toilet disposal points on this island, which is a lot for a small place.
So if we look at things logically, there's 3 different types of people. There is us, the people that are not going to do that. You're just going to have to deal with the fact your toilet's full. It is what it is. You've got the people in the middle that maybe they will dump the toilet in places they shouldn't as a last resort, sometimes because they don't know anywhere around there that they can get rid of the toilet. And then there's this guy, and the reason I know he sits in the camp of I don't care, I'm going to do what I want, is because that car park where he stayed also has no overnight parking signs everywhere, and he's still parked there. But if we go back to this middle guy, maybe we can help them had the information being a little bit easier to access.
And the unfortunate thing for us is that we still get tarnished with the same brush as this idiot.
And I think one of the things that we get wrong is we actually do the same to them, is we'll tarnish the wrong people with the brush that we should have tarnished the right people. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll explain in just a minute. But what I mean by that is if we approach the wrong people in the wrong way, we can actually make things worse for us rather than better. So we need to be careful how we go about this. Let us show you that example, and hopefully this will make some sense, maybe. So here's the 2 scenarios. So the first guy is having a party. He's got a little flat, 1 bathroom. It's just small, beautiful views over the city, gorgeous. But it's a small little place, and there's only 1 bathroom, so it's not really suitable for hosting a big party. But he rings everyone in his contacts. He's like, look, come to this party, it's going to be incredible, there's loads of space, don't worry about it, just turn up, it'll be amazing. So everyone turns up, there's a queue for the bathroom, it's busy, there's people everywhere, and then he starts kicking off at everyone that's come to the party, saying, why have you turned up to this party? It's chaos. When he was the one that invited everyone in the first place. If you can't tell, this is the NC 500. Then there's the other scenario where the guy's having a little party, there's a few people there, he's got a little flat again, 1 bathroom, but we're ringing him saying, can we come to your party? And he's like, well, you can, but just remember that there's only 1 bathroom, there's
a small kitchen. It's small, you know what I mean? We're gonna have to keep it small because we haven't really got the stuff in place for all of you turning up at the same time. So we all turn up, and then we're kicking off at him, saying, well, you need to build more bathrooms. You need to have a bigger flat. We want to bring more people, even though he was like, well, you can come if you want. He told us in advance. That's what the council car parks are like. So I'm hoping them examples work. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But what I'm trying to get at is one of them invited us and then there's nothing there for us. So yes, we can be direct with them. And then there's the council car parks and stuff where, yes, I know it would be nice if they had more spaces. It would be perfect if they had toilet waste disposal and things like that, but they haven't. And the fact that they're trying to accommodate us is better than a lot of other places. So I think we need to be a little bit more patient and careful on how we ask things from them. And then people like the NC 500, we can demand as much as we want. But we also need to be realistic because, again, what I'm getting at is if we demand and put things through government where they have to install, say something got through, all council car parks that allow us to park overnight have to have toilets in. We think win-win. But do you really think they're going to install them? Because, for example, one of them chemical waste disposal points costs about 40 grand by the time you put in all the groundworks and all the rest of it. If a council car park has to have that to allow us to stay overnight, do you think that's what they're actually going to install? Definitely not. You'd be like, well, no, I'm not building an extra bathroom just because you just want to come to my party. You're just not invited. Now, don't get us wrong, I'm not saying we shouldn't be asking for things to be installed. Yes, definitely we should be. But let's face it, the councils are not going to do it. And in all fairness, the country is in a bit of a bad way. And if they did spend all that money on installing some chemical waste disposal points, even I, as a campervan or motorhome owner, could list a hell of a lot of things that I'd rather them spend money on at the minute than some waste disposal points for campervan and motorhome owners. And what we need to start doing, rather than complaining about all the facilities that we don't have and focusing on that, is actually raising some awareness on the things that we do have. Where are these facilities that already exist? How do we find them and how do we use them?
This was the problem we set out to solve 2 years ago. Me and this guy, who just so happens to be my cousin and my best friend since we were kids. And we started talking about this project because we wanted to build something that could be the home of van life. Like one place that does everything that you'd need, so you're not bouncing between 10 different apps just to plan a road trip. It's taken a lot of time and effort, and specifically has gone from this to this. But thankfully, the app is live. It's called Camper and it's available right now on both Android and Apple app stores. You'll find it in the description. But don't head off to download it just yet. Let us tell you a little bit more about it and show you how it's actually going to help fix this problem.
Now, Camper does everything. It is the home of van life, from tools like Schengen zone calculators, from MOT reminders, to our very own social media that we've put in the platform with zero algorithm, so you decide who you follow and what you see, not us. It's not in our hands, and it's just in chronological order, newest to oldest. That's that. Then we've got my favorite section of the app, which is the road trip planner. You can plan multiple day road trips through multiple countries if you wanted, with tons of different things each day. A travel checklist so you can remember the things that you want to pick up along the way, as well as that, a cost tracker so you can historically look back at how much you've spent on each of these road trips. But in this section of the video, we're going to be talking about the location vault, because this is the bit that I genuinely think can help fix some of the problems that we've discussed in this video. So one of my biggest frustrations when I'm using other apps that allow you to add locations to a map is the process of adding them to a map is an absolute nightmare. You've got to fill in huge questionnaires, you've got to put in insane amounts of detail, even for something as simple as just a little off-grid park up. And that, to me, is what's resulted in me putting literally 4 different locations on a map over 5 years. That's all I've added on these other apps because it's just too much work and I can't be chewed. So I end up switching between like Google Maps and then some of these other apps. And that was the first thing we wanted to address. We've done this by putting the trust in your hands. We do not want to have to babysit adults. At the end of the day, we're trying to build a respectful community full of people that will help propel Camper to becoming the van life app with the most active user base, the best, most accurate information, and the most populated map full of all valid places that you can go and actually stay or visit or use, not outdated crap because no one adds new stuff. And the first part of that is making sure that everything that should be public is public. If you add an LPG filling station location, a chemical waste disposal point, a water fill up, a paid overnight park hub, a campsite,
any of these locations will be shared with everyone on the app, because the more information there is about these locations, the better it is for everyone. So we've made the process of adding them to the map as easy as we could, and it's just a matter of pressing a few different buttons and submitting it, and there it's there, already on the map. And then there's the quiet, beautiful, delicate, little hidden off-grid park-ups that you sometimes find on your travels. Now, if we just quickly go back to this guy on the Isle of Arran and ask yourself the question, do you want to share these beautiful hidden spots with someone like him, someone who's going to dump the toilet in the sea and just willingly park under an overnight parking signs and not really be bothered about it? Well, every time you share locations on any other app, people like him, as well as nice people who will be respectful, will see that location. And we wanted to change that on Camper. We wanted to put the control in your hands. And that's the key difference. We're not trying to gatekeep these locations. We're trying to protect what makes them so special in the first place. Public for what should be public, private or shared with trusted friends for the things that shouldn't. And that's how we protect this lifestyle that we love so much, by sharing it responsibly. And here's the thing, there's so much information already out there on these kind of things: park-up locations, service locations, LPG, off-grid park-ups, road trip routes, packing checklists, gear lists, modification lists. There's all sorts. It's just scattered across Facebook groups, YouTube videos, blog posts, websites, everything. We wanted to bring all of this into one single app. If you've ever wondered, what wheels has he got on his van? What modifications has he done? What electrical system has he got? Well, just go to his profile and click on View Van Build and all the information's there. Has any of your friends or family ever asked and said, oh, I would love to do that road trip, could you put all them locations down for us, because I think we're going to do it as well? Just share the road trip itinerary with them on the app. Do you ever want to find other people like you who might have a van and love van life without algorithms dictating what you see and just showing you the extreme cases of both, without constant adverts popping up everywhere, without that social media noise of people competing for likes and attention? We can do that on the app as well. Camper is built for people like you, because I am like you. I've also juggled all of these different apps. I've subscribed to all of these other apps. I've tried websites, I've watched YouTube videos, I've done everything. And instead, what I thought was, we need something that does all of these things just in one place. I don't want to have loads of different apps, loads of different subscriptions and visit loads of websites. I just want to be able to do it in one place. And that's why we decided it was time for something better. Something built by people who love this lifestyle for other people who also love this lifestyle. A home for van life. So the link to the app is in the description. Again, I really appreciate all the support that we've had up to now. It's been phenomenal. It's been a long project. There's only 2 of us. It's been a big learning curve, but we're so proud of where we've gotten the app. But we only get it to the next stages and where we want it to be ultimately, where it does everything you could possibly ever need for van life with your support and also your ideas. It's a community project. We want to make it what you guys want from it. Up to now, we've implemented everything that we would want, but there's things that we'll have missed without a doubt that you guys would want that we didn't even know about. So if that's the case, get involved, help us out. We're always asking for community feedback. Again, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.